Hello, Gene Schumer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Should be a short one because I'm just going to show you a couple of videos about a great event that happened in the Senate yesterday, the day before I'm recording this. It happened yesterday, Tuesday. This is Wednesday. You're seeing it on Thursday, which really bothers me because I can't be as timely as I would like to be sometimes because of the delay between the time I can record these and then edit them and then put them up, so on and so forth. Anyways, as you probably know, the Senate voted on, well, I should also put in right now, I'm a conservative. Full disclosure, I'm a conservative. Always keep that in mind when you evaluate whatever I say, especially when I say right now that we got some really great news, we conservatives, in a vote that took place yesterday, Senate Bill S1, which is the counterpart to House Bill HR1. And unless you've been, I don't know, on another planet, maybe somebody went to the moon and I didn't know about it. But even then, unless they're still there, they would know and aren't getting any news, have no internet on the moon. I don't know if there is or not. But there was a vote yesterday on S1 in the Senate. It was a bill to basically allow the federal government to unconstitutionally, so my anticipation would be that had this vote gone the other way, the Supreme Court would have struck it down. It was basically a federal takeover of the elections that under the Constitution, the presidential elections, that under the Constitution and senatorial elections are supposed to be controlled by the states. The states are supposed to decide how they want to run their elections, how they want to choose their electors for presidential elections. Well, you should all know that. Maybe if you were going to public schools for most of your life, then all you know about it is critical race theory and how bad America is, but not how the country actually works, how the government actually functions. And there have been surveys, polls taken where students have been asked about how the government works and not known the division of powers, not even known sometimes who the vice president is. But as usual, I'm getting off on a sidetrack, so let me get back on. Basically what this S1 would have done, it would have overridden all the state election laws and made permanent all these measures that were supposed to be temporary because of coronavirus, such as this mass mailing of unsolicited absentee ballots. They just mailed them out. They took other measures, sometimes unlawfully. Secretaries of state overruled or just ignored their state legislatures and just made consent agreements or just ordered certain actions to be taken to make it easier to cheat. To be perfectly honest, this is where keep in mind I'm a conservative comes into play, because our liberal friends are saying, well, this is a voter integrity law to prevent the states from passing what they call voter suppression laws. Actually, that's exactly the wrong way around. The state laws are the voter integrity laws. What the Senate wants to do, and the House, the Democrats, they want to make permanent the ability to cheat in elections. For instance, not requiring even photo ID. And there was a poll on this just the other day. 80% of the American people, majority of minority voters too, the people whom this terrible voter cheating law is supposed to help. Who wants illegal voters? You talk about disenfranchisement. That's how you disenfranchise a voter, by offsetting his vote with the vote of somebody who is not entitled to vote. Offset a legal vote with an illegal vote. That's disenfranchising a voter in my book. Anyways, it went down because the Republicans did exactly what they said they would do. They filibustered the bill, so it didn't even come up for debate. Needless to say, the Democrats, at least the very liberal ones, they are very unhappy because of this filibustering of the vote. As you know, they've been calling to end the filibuster so that they could ram this thing through. This is going to be another subject for another vlog. Their belief that they have a mandate to institute these dramatic changes that Republicans are, because they're such horrible people, are blocking. That's not the case at all, but that's another vlog for another day. All I want to share with you today is a couple of videos from the aftermath of that vote. First, you're going to hear Chuck Schumer, his reaction. Well, you're going to see the vote fail, and then you're going to hear Chuck Schumer, the majority leader of the Senate, who happens to be a Democrat. You're going to hear his reaction, and then, well, let's just show you Chuck Schumer first. So here's Chuck Schumer.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. 3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn not having voted in the affirmative. The motion is not agreed to.
Madam President.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Madam President, I want to be clear about what just happened on the Senate floor. Every single Senate Republican just voted against starting debate on legislation to protect Americans' voting rights.
Welcome back. And now the Republican, I guess you could call it the Republican response. I am sure multiple senators spoke, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of Ted Cruz. You just heard Chuck Schumer's description of the bill. Now his false description of the bill. Again, I'm a conservative. Keep that in mind when you evaluate. I say his false description of the bill. Now you're going to hear the accurate description of the bill from Ted Cruz. Here's Ted.
The most pernicious aspect of this bill has been the racial demagoguery that it has invited. We've heard the Senate Majority Leader invoke in booming terms specters from our sorry history of racial discrimination in the past. The Senate Majority Leader has used the phrase Jim Crow 2.0 repeatedly, as has the President of the United States, as has the Vice President of the United States, deliberately inflaming racial tensions, suggesting that laws, common sense voter integrity laws in states like Georgia and Texas, things like requiring voter ID or requiring signature verification on absentee ballots, are somehow a modern manifestation of Jim Crow. That is a grotesque lie. And Mr. President, the Majority Leader knows that. The President of the United States knows that. The Vice President of the United States, they know they're lying. But ironically, they've inadvertently said something that is accurate about this piece of legislation. Jim Crow legislation was grotesque and ugly. It was legislation that was drafted without exception by Democratic politicians. Jim Crow was written by Democratic politicians. And its purpose when the Jim Crow laws were written were to prevent the voters from ever voting out of office Democratic politicians. It's one of the ugliest chapters of our nation's history. And thankfully, we repudiated Jim Crow. Well, the Majority Leader used the phrase Jim Crow 2.0, and inadvertently he's right, but not about what he's describing. He's right about the Corrupt Politicians Act. The Corrupt Politicians Act follows the exact same pattern that Jim Crow did. It is partisan legislation written by elected Democrats designed to keep elected Democrats in office and to steal the right to vote from the citizenry to decide on somebody else. Democracy is too important for that. and the kind of cynical racial demagoguery that we have seen around this bill, while ignoring the substance of it. And I will point out the media has been eager to ignore the substance of it. The media says, should we protect the right to vote? Yes, we should protect the right to vote. This bill takes away your right to vote. This bill is designed to prevent the voters from choosing to throw the bums out. The most fundamental right of any voter to throw the bums out, whether they're one side or the other side. We, the people, have sovereignty. And this bill, the Corrupt Politicians Act, was designed to take that power from the people in Washington. So today was a victory. It was a victory for the American people. It was a victory for democracy. It was a victory for the Constitution. And it was a victory for the rule of law. I yield the floor.
Ted Cruz says everything I was going to say, except for what I'm going to say now, which is that's it for today. As I said, short video. Thanks for stopping by. As always, I appreciate your spending a little of your time with me. Unfortunately, today it was just a little bit of time because I frankly admit, full disclosure again, some of my videos have been on the long side. If I take a half hour of your time, I feel bad that I took that much of your time. Maybe some of you are wishing I would do longer videos. If so, you could put it in the comments and I'll take it under consideration. But I try to keep them under a half hour. I'm sure I did it today. If I keep talking like this, I'm going to make it long again. So thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you could give me a thumbs up if you like this video, that would really be great. Share it with anybody you think would also like the video. Got any comments? Comment section below the video, or you can put questions, suggestions for future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. You could visit my other channels, my hot dog recipe channel, my original music channel. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.